shine through your fucking teeth. I know it, you know it, and this fucking hole know it.
Come on, leave him alone.
I don't know why that clip is so funny to me, but it is. So I played it. Good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Give me a follow on X at @green_Jericho. Like and subscribe to this channel here and to Green's house. I wanted to do the live yesterday, but you know, kid stuff. They had places they needed to be. So, you know, daddy duty. Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here on this live stream. 8 days out from Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. You guys still have shopping you need to do. Those of you with youngins or significant others or whatever, get that shit done. My street has been alive with UPS, Amazon, FedEx trucks just all over the place delivering. The Amazon trucks, they look like vehicles, futuristic vehicles look in movies. They're like the round lights. They're quiet. They're like all electric and shit. It's crazy. It's very, very futuristic. Quentin is asking, Jericho, how is the free state of Texas treating you? Have you moved yet? No, I haven't moved yet. House is still on the market. Still on the market. We dropped the price a little bit, but we don't want to go too low because we don't want to eat into our profit. But yeah, still on the market. So still waiting as soon as it sells. Pew! Remember Back to the Future when Marty hit 88 miles an hour? Great Scots. When he hit the 88 miles an hour and he disappeared, you see those two flame tire tracks. That's how we're going to be beating feet out of California. It's just a real shitty place. Gavin Newsom's levying another fuel tax on us at the first of the year. What else are they doing? There's a fuel tax. Oh, yeah. In certain areas, I think it's only about 4 cities, maybe 5 at this point. Because, of course, these are the guinea pigs. These are the petri dishes where they're experimenting with this, and then it'll spread to the whole state, and then it'll spread to the whole country. So right now, I think that's also taking effect. I believe they voted on it, they being the California legislature, not the citizens of California, because we wouldn't have voted for this shit. Yeah, that's right, Oscar Gonzalez. He's Trump-proofing the state. If you want to Trump-proof the state and make it to where Trump won't mess with California, then fucking quit. How about that, Gavin? If you step down, I'm sure President Trump would leave California alone. But since you're a piece of shit, he won't. So I think they voted on it in 2023. It takes effect first of the year, 2025. But in 4 or 5 places, San Jose, San Francisco, I want to say Oakland and somewhere else, basically in the Bay Area, they are going to start putting cameras on the highways to catch speeders. Now, be honest, okay? We're at the honesty portion of the broadcast. Raise your hand if you speed on the highway. That should be everybody. Everybody who's licensed to drive in your state, you speed on the highway because they're trying to drum up revenue. But here's an idea. Maybe if you guys didn't just lose, you just lost it, like a set of keys, like your phone. If you're my wife, like your phone every day, you just lost it. They just lost $24 billion. Just lost it. Oops. My B. No oversight, no repercussions, no apology, nothing. 24 billion. Poof, pow. Houdini would be proud. So if you didn't do shit like that, if you didn't pay for illegals to have everything they need and to have their tits and balls cut off, and the doctor, you know, one of the doctors is standing next to the trash can and he steps on the pedal and the trash can pops open and the doctor takes the illegal's balls or tits and goes, Jordan, and just shoots him in the waste bin. What do they call that in England? What do you guys call a trash can in England? It's something weird, I'm sure. But you throw it in the trash bin, and you're paying for it. Healthcare for all the illegals. Young ones? No, Jericho. Young ones, old ones. It doesn't matter. Everybody. Homes, phones, cars, clothes, medical care, whatever. Well, when you're spending like that, Gavin, come in close, you idiot, but not too close. I don't want you to try to kiss me or something. But when you do shit like that, it puts your state in a deficit, and then you have to do shit like putting cameras on the highways to catch speeders. Very, a lot of surveillance going on in California. A lot of surveillance. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? On the highway? You know, everybody speeds on the damn highway. What was that song back in the day? Every day would be a Friday, and you could even speed on the highway. Play ghetto games. Name my kids ghetto names like Big Mookie, like Mookie, Big Al, or Ray. Love that song. Was that back in the day? Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. I think so. Go kick it with the younger hoes by the bungalows. Ain't that some shit? Everybody speeds on the highway. Island Anderson, what up? What's up to everybody? But what about this verse? Jericho, does that obviously mean the politicians speeding on the highway will get repercussions? Of course not. Don't be ridiculous. There will be no repercussions for them, only for you, you peasant. Now avert your gaze and go back to the coal mines to generate revenue. As their drivers speed down the highway. Why are they too good to drive? Why can't Gavin Newsom drive himself? Just wondering. President, I get it. But you need a driver? You son of a bitch. So if you're in one of those places, you know, San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland, I believe, one more place, one more liberal shithole. Watch it on the highway, fool, because they're going to have them cameras up and running, ready to collect all of your shekels. That's right, Peter D. Got to support those illegals. They will step over you, your family, your hopes, and your dreams to get to those illegals. Move it, you stupid taxpayer. You're in the way. Bro, man, dude, you get your SUV-sized drone yet, Jericho? Not yet. Still waiting. And they're saying that the government came out with a report, and it said, hey, basically, there's nothing to see here. Okay, all it is, it's a collection of private drone owners. There's some police drones up there. There's some delivery drones, but no problem. It's just the holidays. 'Tis the season, fa la 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 and all that, right? They're people's, they're private citizens, drones, and law enforcement. Quit fucking worrying about it. Even though this has never happened before. And we've had, I don't know how many Christmases after the existence of drones. Some people are saying, well, they're checking for radiation readings because there were some dirty bombs that escaped from Russia. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if Russia, Putin, is ready to die, because that's what's going to happen. I've said this before, that I believe that the only reason we haven't had a nuclear war is because nobody with nuclear power wants to die. Because I guarantee you, okay, H.G. Wells says nuclear waste was lost. Facts. Okay, let's take that at face value. Let's say it was lost and it's out there somewhere. And if it's in bomb form, whatever country sent that, it's over. Whatever country put that bomb together and got it here, if we find out, it's over. You detonate a dirty bomb here, we're detonating one there. And it's going to be devastating. And then if they can, if they have the capability after that, maybe they'll lob another one over here. And it'll get real bad for everybody. It'll get real nuclear winter outside. It'll get very Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Well, I think that's the only reason it hasn't happened is because nobody wants to die. Because that's exactly what will happen. What's the Moscow will be glowing in the dark. So we'll see, but I don't believe pretty much anything the government tells us. I don't believe it. I'll find a trusted news source on a platform of my choosing, and I'll believe that. Strike Bait says waste missing, not the bomb. Okay. H.G. Will says it's American nuclear. Joe Biden lost it like East Palestine, Ohio. Yeah, he probably. Yeah, where's you guys see where I put my nuclear waste? I don't believe him. I don't believe that there's nothing to see here. That it's only private citizens and all that bullshit. I just don't. And probably mostly because it is coming from the federal government. You've left a very conspiratory taste in my mouth. Feds. So I don't believe you. I don't believe it when it comes from you. I'll go to a trusted news source that I trust of my choosing that doesn't have 3 letters as the title or as the name of it, and I'll get my information from there, and I'll digest it as I see fit. But you telling me that it's nothing, that makes me think it's something. Yeah, exactly, bro, man. Do private citizens flying them in from the Atlantic because they all have, everybody has a boat off the coast and they're just flying their drones at the same time. Paul, F and Martin, what's up, man? Appreciate it. Ridiculous. Oh, it's nothing. It's just private citizens. Okay. My ass. Also, at 1:00, I have a very special guest, and she has a harrowing tale. She encountered a Ku Klux Trans member in the locker room at her gym. The stories that you've been hearing about, I know somebody who it happened to, and they have video evidence. And it is hilarious. And you guys are going to want to be here for that. So don't go anywhere. I have a special guest coming in at 1:00. I won't take too much of her time, but she's coming in at 1:00. We're going to play the videos, and you'll see what happened. You'll see what she told them. And I want to ask her, what were your feelings? Were there butterflies? Were you nervous? Were you worried for your safety and blah, 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 and all these things? So I can't wait to sit down with her. That'll be great. And tonight, not right after, but this evening, my son is having his Christmas program. So that will be fun. It'll be decked out. Your mom always dresses you up nice for your Christmas program. And yesterday we were driving home and I said, "Are you excited for your Christmas program tomorrow?" He goes, "Yeah, but I'm a little nervous." And I said, "Why? You've done your Christmas program. You did one last year." He said, "Yeah, Dad, but that was 2nd grade. This is 3rd grade. It's a little more tough." I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. 3rd grade's a big step up." So yeah, he's going to be ready to go tonight. He's a little nervous, but I think he's going to get up there and perform. James Marty, what's up? Appreciate that. So yeah, that'll be fun tonight. And I remember it was like it was yesterday. I was up there at my Christmas program. We always had it across the street. There was this big church across the street from our school, and that's where we always had our Christmas program. And it was always weird, to come back and see your friends at night because you were always used to seeing them during the day at school, but you're seeing them in the evening. And everybody, the classes together, and the teachers there, and everybody has sweaters on, and the girls have dresses on, and you hear the lady up there, warming up the piano and everything, and they're checking the sound system and all that. So it was always really cool to do our Christmas program. And so now, fast forward, I'm in the audience watching my son do his Christmas program and having watched my daughter do her Christmas programs. It's a trip. I'm still not used to this being a parent thing, even though I'm almost 13 years in. And I did a video about this, but I want to talk to you guys live. The January 6th committee horseshit, their report came out, and then another report came out. No. First, let me correct that. First, a few days ago, it was the report about the sweet and sour sniffles that came out. Now the report was released about J6. Now, if you're talking to Biden, that's July 6th. If you're talking to everybody else, it's January 6th. But J6, their report came out, and come to find out, there were feds in the crowd, confidential human sources, as they call it, rats, snitches. They were there. And they were breaking the law, and they weren't supposed to be breaking the law, and they weren't prosecuted. And it's just like we figured. They had assets on the ground. So that's bombshell report, aka no shit, part 2. First one was the sweet and sour sniffles. Your report told us nothing new, even though you had millions of dollars in your budget to tell us nothing. This J6 bullshit cost us $2 million to tell us absolutely nothing. And I will give you my information if you would like to send me $2 million to tell you absolutely nothing. So that's bullshit report number 2 that came out. And Trump floats the idea that he would look into pardoning Mayor Eric Adams of New York City from his investigation, his indictment that he's under, because he feels that he's being wrongly accused as well. And he also, I did a video last night, I believe, about Mayor Eric Adams talking about the guy who killed that healthcare CEO in New York. Mom Ranger 2010, what's up? She says, it's funny how they said CHS, but what CHS is get badges. I don't know, maybe it's a new program they're running. But we knew that there were feds there on the ground. We knew that this wasn't a real coup. This wasn't a real insurrection, even though they get themselves off to that word every night before they fall asleep. We all knew that bullshit. We all knew that it was bullshit. But Trump's floating that idea out around. That's pretty cool. What a trip that'll be. And then Duke Lacrosse. Remember that? 2006, the Duke Lacrosse team was accused of raping a stripper that they hired to perform at a party they were having at their frat house. And then the girl turns around and accuses these boys of rape. And there were 3 of them that were the kind of the face of this whole thing. And of course, they came out and said, we didn't do anything. These accusations are completely ridiculous and they're false. And they trot her out in front of the camera. And the charges eventually get dropped. But again, as is the case usually, I don't know if this has ever happened before, where the one who makes the false accusation is punished, but she wasn't. She went about her life and then actually ended up killing her boyfriend, and she's in prison now for that. But I think she should have been in prison along with the district attorney who brought the charges. I think they should both be in prison for false accusations, because what kind of time were those boys looking at had they been convicted of those false accusations? And just the accusations themselves, that the damage that it does to your reputation, the damage that it does to your relationships in your life, professional, personal. And it's all because somebody lied. Somebody wanted to concoct some bullshit and lie. So she came out and admitted the truth. She said, I lied in court. It didn't happen. And I hope they can find it in their heart to forgive me. I don't know. That's a tough one. Yeah, bro, man, dude, she stabbed her boyfriend to death, I think in 2013 or something like that. So she's doing 11 or 12 years for that. But she should have gotten time for lying. They should be able to prosecute and punish her retroactively for lying like that. That's a big deal. So that's a big deal. But in 2006, man, that was a huge story. That was everywhere. That was on all channels, all platforms, whether it be radio, TV, even if it's like a radio station that doesn't cover news, they were talking about it. So it was everywhere. It was a huge story. Finally, 18 years later, she comes out and says, oops, my bad, I lied. So we'll weigh in on that. It's almost the top of the hour, almost time for my guest. So I will, let's see. Since we just talked about it, why don't we tackle this Duke LACROSSE case? But first, got some super dupers. Appreciate you, Brendan. Thanks for the Hamilton. He says, cherry popped. Hope you're not sore. Hi, JG, for me and my mom. Did you hear Liz Cheney is under investigation for tampering in January 6th? I did hear about that. I saw that headline. I think it was on New York Post or something like that. I did hear about that, but I haven't read the article yet. But that's beautiful. And it makes sense because do you guys remember? Let me see if I can find it because I'd rather show you than tell you. Let's see, I'm sure I can find it. Go. Okay, see what pops up here. See what kind of images pop up. There we go. There we go. Now this image here will make you will add a little more credence to these charges of witness tampering, because I remember when this happened, I don't know if I did a video solely about this, but I do remember talking about this in a video when this happened. So let's see, view image. Now, you guys tell me if you remember this, because this was very weird. This was like, what the fuck are you doing? I'd never seen that before. I didn't even know you could do this. I didn't even know you could do this. But here you go. That's Liz Cheney hugging that girl. Was her name Hutchison? And I think she was the girl who was saying that she didn't see it herself, but she heard from somebody who was there when Trump was in the limo, take me back to the fucking Capitol. I'm the president. And he had one hand on the driver and one hand holding another Secret Service agent back. And she said, oh, he grabbed him by his clavicle. So yeah, this is the girl, but this is Liz Cheney hugging her after she stepped off the witness stand. So hold on. Hold on a second. So you're on the January 6th committee. You're like the judges panel, right? You got this girl on the witness stand. She comes off of the witness stand, and you, being one of the committee members, comes down and hugs her. That would be like a witness testifying in the court of law. And I'm bro man, dude, I think they were under oath. And that's like somebody testifying, and then the judge comes down and hugs the witness. So how can this judge make an impartial judgment if you're hugging the witness, saying, I believe the witness? You're supposed to be impartial. You're supposed to see all of the evidence and then render your decision. Not get down from where you're sitting and hug the witness, who just happens to be against the person that we know you all hate. Get the fuck out of here. No way. So when I saw that shit, I was like, oh, obviously the rig is in. But so yeah, I can believe the witness tampering accusations. I can believe that. And just in time, they've made these accusations against her. And what's happening January 20th? Nah, I forgot. Appreciate it. But what about this verse? JG, have you heard of the Economist writing a hit piece saying veterans shouldn't get benefits? Literally says our vets don't deserve them. Ooh, that's interesting. I wonder who would say something like that. If you've given part of your mind and your body to the United States military, why shouldn't you be compensated? If you were injured or you have, PTSD or something like that, you're mentally not the same, then yeah, you should be compensated because it happened in service to your country. So your country should take care of you. And if you've been shot or whatever, you've been injured, you lost a limb or something like your eye, all kinds of crazy shit that can happen. Of course, you should be compensated. What is it, 1 or 2% of the population that serves in the military? So if you're willing to take that oath, then yeah, if you're injured on the job, hook me up. What kind of piece of shit would say that? Terrible. That's terrible. But where is it? Here it is. So Duke LaCrosse, the girl, I always want to say Magnum is her last. I think it's Magnin or some shit like that. Hold on a second. I just got a message from my guest. Bam. Cool. So anyway, the stripper admits that she was wrong from behind bars 18 years later.
No one deserves to be sexually assaulted.
Nearly 20 years after Crystal Mangum falsely accused 3 Duke lacrosse players of raping her at a party, the former exotic dancer is now admitting publicly for the first time that she fabricated the story.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't, and that was wrong.
Mangum, now 46, making that admission on the Let's Talk with Kat podcast from a North Carolina prison where she is serving time for fatally stabbing her boyfriend in 2011.
I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me.
In 2006, Mangum told police she was sexually assaulted by 3 men, Colin Finnerty, Reed Seligman, and David Evans, in a bathroom at a Duke lacrosse team party where she had been hired to perform. The blockbuster allegations igniting a national firestorm about race, class, and privilege on college campuses.
I think they might get away with it just because they have money.
Every member of the Duke University lacrosse team is innocent. You have all been told some fantastic lies.
The charges were ultimately dropped after no DNA, witness, or other evidence was found to back up Mangum's story. The players reached an undisclosed settlement with Duke University in 2007.
I hope that they can forgive me.
Tonight, Colin Finnerty telling NBC News, I hope this time in jail makes her think about what the consequences are for her actions.
So there it is. Mangum was her last name. And I always think it's funny when they call strippers exotic dancers, because you think exotic, you're thinking some kind of dance, some form of dance from a land far away that you've never been to. There's nothing exotic about it. You're just busting open your birth canal under some disco balls. Like, calm down with the exotic dancer. Anyway, the stripper lied on those kids. I mean, they were college. And like it said, it was looked at as these rich white dudes who were like, they tie the sweater around their neck and say she stepped on the ball. So they had the money, they had the influence, they had the look, they had the right skin according to some. So these boys were going to walk because of it. And you saw her in the beginning, nobody should be sexually assaulted. Yeah, we know that. And those are fake tears. Those were lies. I don't know if she concocted this. She hatched the plan with some lawyers or some shit like that, but it was terrible. But she finally admitted the truth that she lied on these kids. And if you were, old enough back then to follow the story, you know how big of a deal that is. But what a shitty person. And I don't feel sorry for her. I don't feel sorry for her tears, and I hope they can forgive me and all that kind of shit, because that was a terrible thing to do, to levy those accusations against those boys. And that's something that I don't know if you can come back from. Maybe enough time has passed where nobody remembers their names or recognizes their names. But at the time, the Duke University suspended the rest of the season. Of course, they kicked them out of school. They're all over TV. You saw the cameras following them. Their faces were everywhere. Their names were everywhere. And there was basically nowhere they could go. I'm sure they had death threats and shit like that. All because this dirty stripper, but did she want money? Was she going to sue them for money? Was she going to sue the university for money? And of course, the president, this was at the I wouldn't say the beginning, because I believe it happened in the 90s, this death of American culture, this death of masculinity, this death of the family. by 1,000 cuts. I think that started in the 90s. But 2006 was, we're well into the new millennium and all that kind of stuff. So we're 2 years out from Obama. So this is the infancy stage of the woke shit. So the president of Duke University jumped on this quick and kicked the boys out and suspended the rest of the season. Didn't wait for all the facts to come in because they wanted to get ahead of the "you're a racist" narrative. They didn't want to fuck with those endowments. So they ruined these boys' college career, only to find out that she was lying. The district attorney got fired because he was withholding evidence and he was spreading lies about these kids. It was all fucked up. Everybody wanted to jump on this and say that these boys were racist and look at this racism and look at this classism. And because they have money and they're white, that this poor girl, they're going to go unpunished in what they did to her. And come to find out she was a fucking liar. Mr. Comic 2009, are you in Texas yet? No, I am not. My house is still on the market, so buy it if you want to. It was fucked up. It was fucked up, but even though maybe she is really sorry, and maybe she's older now and wiser, she sees the error in her ways. I don't feel sorry for you. I have no sympathy. You should serve the same time that they were going to serve for what you allege that they did to you. That shit is sick. That shit is disgusting. None the miser. That's right. Tawana Brawley 2.0. Tawana Brawley was a girl, or a young lady, I should say. Was it in New York or New Jersey? She says that she was brutally raped and defiled by this group of cops. I'm talking, she accused them of raping her, of defecating on her, pissing on her, and putting her in a trash bag. Like, really foul shit. Really foul, gross shit. And so here comes Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton. They, who was it? I can't remember who they sued, whether it was the police department or a bunch of people. They bullied New York. Okay, thank you. Bullied them into paying them and bullied them into apologizing and making all these changes because of the accusations she leveled against the police department. You can imagine what happened to these officers, what happened to their job, what happened to their reputation, what happened to their relationships in a personal and professional life, only to find out that the girl was lying. It was all bullshit. And did Al Sharptongue and Jesse Jackson apologize? I think you know the answer to that question. And that was like back, what was it, the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, maybe? That was a long time ago. But yeah, this is very similar to that. So let me see. But, I've read that quote from Booker T. Washington about how there's a certain sect of the Negro population that benefit financially from the grievances of Black people. So anytime something happen, oh, this happened to a Black person, they can jump on that and get money from that. Tawana Brawley is an African-American woman from New York who gained notoriety in November 1987 at age 15 when she falsely accused 4 white men of kidnapping and raping her over a 4-day period on November 28, 1987. Let's see. On November 28, 1987, Brawley was found in a trash bag after having been missing for 4 days from her home in Wappingers Falls, New York. She had racial slurs written on her body and was covered in feces. The feces came from a collie owned by a resident of the building where Brawley was found. Brawley accused 4 white men of having raped her. The charges received national attention in part because of the appalling condition in which she had been left at her young age and the professional status of the person she accused of the crime, including police officers and a prosecuting attorney. Brawley's advisors, Al Sharpton, Alton H. Maddox, and C. Vernon Mason, helping in bringing the case to national prominence. After hearing evidence, a grand jury concluded in October 1988 that Brawley had not been the victim of a forcibly sexual assault and that she may have created the appearance of such an attack herself. Stephen Bagonis, The Greek-American New York prosecutor whom Brawley had accused as being one of the assailants later successfully sued Brawley and her 3 advisors for defamation. Brawley received support from the African-American community. Some academics have suggested that Brawley was victimized by the biased reporting and was influenced by racial stereotypes. The mainstream media's coverage drew heated criticism from the African-American press and from many Black leaders who believed the teenager in her story. The grand jury's conclusions decreased support for Brawley as her advisors, Brawley's family, and her advisors, Brawley's family, have maintained all the allegations were true. You fucking piece of shit. So the same kind of thing that this stripper did. Let's see. On November 28th, I know it seems I fucked up that I laughed at that. Anyway, on November 28th, 1987, let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. She was found unconscious and unresponsive, lying in a garbage bag several feet from an apartment where she had once lived. Her clothing was torn and burned, her body smeared with feces, and she was taken to the emergency room where the words pimp, nigger, and KKK were discovered written on her torso in charcoal. What? This has a very Smollett ring to it. Pimp, nigger, KKK. What kind of super made in a laboratory racist did they think would write something like shut up? KKK. Oh my God, that is horrible. People still doing this shit. Oh my God. Anyway, this person that I'm about to bring in is not horrible. She's a very good person, especially if you're an animal. But it is Tori D. And she has some video footage for us and a story to tell. And apparently this happened more than once. So I'd like to hear both of these stories. Here, before I bring her in, let me pull up her gram. There it is. Get these videos, and it's crazy. It is crazy. Okay. And one of the things I want to ask her, I mean, obviously, she couldn't have been that afraid to be in the situation that she was in, but you know, there got to be some butterflies, something. That shit was wild. Like, I was like, no way. Yes way. Yes way. All right, so it looks like we got 3 videos. Okay, I'll pause it there. Come back here. All right, guys, are you ready? Yeah, she says, I'm protected by God. You must have been, and you must be, because that could have been a very dangerous, to say the least, situation. So here we go. No further ado, let's welcome back Tori D. What up, Tori?
Hi, I'm frozen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Like on the mic though.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We see
Because
you.
last time you let me go 2 hours, like not on the mic.
No, you're good this time. Let's
Okay, cool.
not focus on things in the past. Let's move
Sorry,
forward.
you're right. You're right.
So Tori, you have a story. Welcome back. Glad to have you here. I must say I was pleasantly surprised by the footage. I was like,
I think you had the craziest reaction.
But I mean,
like nobody was like that shocked. I don't know. Like you're very. Are you really afraid for me?
I mean, yeah, that could have been bad. You're obviously dealing
Yeah.
with somebody who's mentally unstable, and they
Absolutely.
are bigger than you and stronger than you. Yeah, that could have went sideways. I'm glad it didn't. But yeah, that's a wild situation. And I've never known anybody who this has actually happened to. This is something like that you see on the news, or you see a clip of something. This happens far away or to somebody else, but to actually know somebody who was staring down the barrel of one of these psychopaths, man.
I know.
And what's even worse, are the businesses who allow this. Like, how do you say out of one side of your corporate mouth that you care for the safety of whomever, these people, these freaks, but then you put the real ones, the real actual ladies, in a very dangerous situation where they're potentially partially, if not fully nude. And like I mentioned before, these men are usually, I'm not breaking any new ground here, but men are usually bigger and stronger than the ladies, right? So you care about them, but then you put them in allow them to be put in these potentially dangerous situations. Did you have a moment of pause, or was it like, oh no, from the get-go?
No, not this time. Like the one I sent you today, the other one that I discreetly took a video of, that one I didn't approach because that one was about his business and he would have beat my ass. This one, like, I had watched him work out in the gym before, and when I saw him walk towards the bathrooms, I was like, if that motherfucker went into the women's restroom, I'm gonna have something to say. So I was prepared, but I had been watching him, so I kind of like could tell his demeanor, and like he wasn't really about shit. Like I don't know. I didn't fear him. No, I didn't fear him, but like he was just confidently walking around like the shower area, as you saw. It's like those doors are see-through, and mostly like old saggy women, shower in there. And it's like I'm not speaking up because I necessarily was afraid for my safety, because if I was afraid for my safety, I probably wouldn't confront him as close as I did. But it's more so for like the people who can't speak for themselves. You know how I am. I'm an animal lover, an elderly. I want to speak for people who can't necessarily defend themselves. Not like I could defend myself against him because he a big motherfucker. So,
Yeah. That was still wild. But what you said to them is what was really funny, because because you see these clips of it happening to other people, and they never say, like, they'll say something to him, but they never like give him the business. You know what I mean? And that's
sorry. I feel bad, kind of.
No, not at all.
No, the only butterflies I had was from me being like, I had just worked out and I was hungry, so I was just a little shaky, and so I had like, I hope to see him again in there. And I'll do it differently because like I think the insults are probably not gonna hold as much weight as if I were to just speak factually and be like, hey dude, I don't care how many surgeries you have, you're never. And this guy looked like a man. He didn't have any surgery, he didn't have titties or anything. But I wish that I was just like, dude, I don't care what you try and do, you'll never be a woman. Like, I wish I went that route. I wish I said, I rebuke the demons in you. But I just insulted, but whatever. It just came, and it was just a flow,
Well, they deserve insults, because that is, I mean, I believe there are layers to mental illness. So you can be like nuts, talking to yourself and all that kind of stuff, and smearing feces on your body, and whoa. Or you can be on the lower end, like these fools, who he can, obviously speak and probably hold a job and all of those things, but obviously they're a problem because you're stuffing your dick and balls into a thong, and you're in a woman's locker room. And whether the uncomfortable situation you're putting them in, and the fear that you're making them feel, whether you're aware of that or not, you're a piece of shit. And if you're not aware of it, you're a real piece of shit, because you don't even care. Like, you don't understand what you're doing to other people. And every lady might not be as brave as you are. Of course, if you guys don't know, Tori is a former police officer. So for those who might not be as brave as you, that can be a very scary situation.
Yeah. But that's why I speak up, because I'm, like I said, the other one I was afraid of because that thing was big. So I didn't say anything. But in this case, I don't know. I just did. And that's why I spoke up, because other people would be afraid too. So it's my duty. But at the end of the day too, like, this guy is a victim. You have to think of it like that too. I know you probably don't, but he's a victim of, because let's think about it. He's probably mentally ill. He probably went into his, psychiatrist appointment, wanting to get help, possibly. and they pushed it. Like, they get money. They get so much money from pushing these mentally ill people into this transgender BS. Like,
Mhm.
so at one point in his life, he probably was somewhat normal. And then they push and push and push and give them this route of, oh, you're mentally ill because you must be a woman and you're in the wrong body. And so, like, at the end of the day, there is that like 2% soft side that you have to be like, okay, this person is still a person and is a victim, but get the fuck out of the women's locker room.
Yeah, take your traumatized ass somewhere else.
Yeah, change at home.
My wife, she always says when she sees somebody like that, if we drive by, you know, some homeless person or they're yelling or some crazy shit like that, she always says, that's somebody's child.
Yeah.
You know, that's, even though they're, you know, a piece of shit or whatever, it didn't always start out that way.
Yeah.
And that is true. And these people do need help. They do need to be somewhere where they can be medicated or whatever and get what they need. But out on the streets is not the business. And businesses allowing this is crazy. And what happened 15, 20 years ago, there's no way in hell that whatever fitness is going to allow a man to be in the woman's locker room. That is just crazy. So I don't know if our braveness has been eroded or what happened, but not too long ago, and even more so than that, not only would that not be allowed, I think they wouldn't even try because they know that this is not the temperature out here, and that's just fucking crazy. Like, what are you even talking about, man? You ain't going to no damn woman's locker room. They wouldn't even broach the subject. But now, as we're going to see, hey, that's what we do, guys, girls. Come on in. So first, we're going to show the video of the first guy, the big one, who was down for the cause that you didn't approach. And then we'll see the one that you did.
And this was like a year ago, the other one.
Okay, so this one that I'm about to show is the one from a year ago. This is a big old, what was that? Oh, man. There's a movie where Ving Rhames plays a Ku Klux trans member, and it's called Something's Heart. But he's like, you know, Ving Rhames, but he has on lipstick and shit.
Dude, like he was, and he was in the gym, like putting in some like work. So he was doing his thing.
Yeah, he's banging.
That's why I didn't feel comfortable. And this one, I didn't get a video when he was in the locker room, but he was in the locker room and there were other women. And that's another thing is like, if there's other women, they're going to all gang up on me because most people in my area don't agree with me. They're going to side with this tranny.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the lambs are going to be siding with the wolf. You know, like, why would you, like, don't you realize this is a predator and he would devour every single one of you? Like, the fuck is your problem? You know, yeah, that's also how this stuff gets to where it is. You have to have dummies on the inside who are helping these fools, dummies who they would, you know, not think twice about harming or whatever. They're saying, no, let them be in here. It's totally cool. They haven't done anything yet. Fucking idiots. Okay, here it is.
Sí, pues eso también es lo que estaba pensando. Eso también es lo que estaba pensando.
And he's hiding. Do you see he's hiding the bulge with the fanny pack? So at least he's trying. And he has fake titties, so at least he's trying.
Yeah, those things aren't real. I know a thing or two about real titties, and those ain't it. Oh my God, look at that. That's a big dude.
Too.
You know these ain't real. Get out of here, man. Get those those fugazi titties out of here. But yeah, you know, I guess whatever. He's trying. Till that fucking fanny pack comes off. Then you got a decision to make. Then you got a choice to make. Okay, hold on. Now I got to stop the screen because one of the things you sent me cannot be on YouTube.
What did I say? The F word?
No, one of the pictures you sent me.
Of what?
That lady and her kid.
Oh, the video? That's a video.
Yeah, they can't.
What do you mean? Oh, okay. I guess you're right. Yeah. I'm like, it's on Instagram, but
no, it's a no. Hold on a second.
Dude, that whole page is just that.
That's so fucking weird. Okay, cool. So this is one of the, I don't know if this is the first one, the beginning of it, but basically you guys will get the gist of it. So this is the one that you encountered recently that you did speak to, and you did say what we would all want to say to somebody like this, somebody who does this. And man, this is just wild. How this is accepted and just par for the course nowadays is beyond me. But this one, you guys judge for yourselves.
Why are you in the women's locker room?
Because I'm a female on my license. I'm a transition. I'm legally gender as a female.
You have a penis.
No, I don't. Why, can you check?
Show me.
I'm not going to show you that. Mom,
Dude, get the fuck out of the women's
why don't you
locker
call the
room.
police and make me? Because I'm not.
Are you a
transgender
pervert?
female.
You're just a pervert.
No, I've had chest surgery. I've had fucking orchiectomy. I've had bottom surgery. So don't fucking tell me what I am.
You're a pervert.
You're a fucking pervert. Talk to me.
You're a pervert.
Really, right?
Are you a chomo too?
Are you?
Are you like cracked out?
Are you
cracked out, bro?
Bro,
Bro, get out of the women's locker room. Are you too scared of men to be in the men's locker room?
Ew.
There's plenty of penis you can see in the men's
I'm not
locker
trying to
room.
fucking speak out.
Oh, so you want to see titties?
No, I don't want to see.
Why are you in the women's?
First of all, Tori, don't be sending him over there to us. All right. That's number one.
No, you guys
Don't-
could protect yourselves.
Don't send him over there to us. But then if you send him over to us and he gets caught Peter gazing, as we call it, and then some dude tunes his ass up, then you're getting extra time because of the choices that he made.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because he wants to be a pervert in the locker room and gaze at penis, which, you know, as a young man, you don't do that. There are unwritten rules and unspoken rules in the world of being a man. And one of them is minimal conversation when we're in the when someone's dick is out, whether you're in the locker room changing or you're at the urinal pissing. There's not a lot of conversation. Definitely no looking over the divider at the dude's dick. That's going to get you in an instant problem.
Yeah.
So if that were to happen, if some dude beats the shit out of him, it's a hate crime because of what he decided to do. And I'm sure if some guy saw him walk in there and maybe heard you telling him, get out of here, and he came in or whatever and decided to do something about it, he would get extra hate crime charges because what, he was protecting people? Because I don't understand how you think, like in the NFL, when they have the openly gay players, I think his name was Sam something or something, Sam. It was like in 10, 15 years ago, maybe. He played for the St. Louis Rams and he was openly gay. And so they're interviewing him. He says, look, I'm just here to play football. I'm not here to do anything else. I'm gonna stay focused. So hold up a second. You mean to tell me you like dick and you're in a room full of dick and you're not gonna look at it? You're not gonna load up that spank bank for later? Get out of here with that shit. So to think that some pervert is gonna come into the women's locker room and I'm just here to be one of the ladies, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, you have the second part, right?
Yes.
In the second part, you hear him. Oh, what did I say? I said something about looking at my titties, and he goes, "You're being too mean for me to look at your titties." So what if I was being nice? If I was just chill about it, like, yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. I don't change in the locker room. But most women do, you know, or shower. I don't shower at the freaking locker room.
Even still, even if that was a room for women to go in there and sit on their phone fully clothed, that's not a space for him. That's not where you're supposed to be. You go to the men's locker room, you go out in the parking lot. I don't know. But it doesn't matter what the women are doing in that room. That's their room. And it's not for your painfully obvious weird ass. Like, that dude, he wasn't even trying. He had on his little, knit, little light, flowy sweater. I'm like, dude, you look like shit.
And the sports bra, like what? The sports bra is supposed to make me think that you're a woman? Get the hell.
Oh, you got a sports bra on? You've answered all my questions.
With no boobs. What's the sports bra for? You don't even have boobs.
I don't know.
And then he mentioned that he got bottom surgery or something.
Ew.
And I tried looking when he was walking closer to me. And it may be possible because he didn't have anything in them tight jeans, so
Yeah, but
he
he
may
could have
have
been.
gotten
He could have had a piece of
tucking.
duct tape in there working
Yeah,
overtime, holding all
yeah,
that shit
true.
back. So, ugh. Oh my lord, bottom surgery? Ugh, that's so stupid. Like it's not even a functioning vagina. You can't. I don't know if you can even pee out of that thing, but it certainly doesn't bring you any pleasure. And if you stop taking your pills, then it's going to close up because your body knows this is an open wound that's not supposed to be there. So I don't know. I don't have a vagina, but I imagine you shouldn't have to work too hard to maintain it, right? It just kind of does what it do,
It just
and
lives its own life.
yeah, it just does its own thing. No, you don't have to constantly take things to keep it, being a vagina. It just is.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it has a life of its own.
It does. It does. It has its own living space, social security number, all that shit.
Yeah.
Vaginas are living their best life. Okay, so here we go. This looks like he's all fully dressed. Chapter 2.
See anything. I do my business and I leave, okay? I'm not a fucking bitch.
All right, you're taking too long. Hurry up. Bye.
Oh, fuck.
Let me guess, you have a shopping cart outside too?
Yeah, you guys.
Come on, look at that.
Bye.
Look at that.
No, you're a man with a hairy asshole. Get out of the woman's house. Yes, I am. Just like you're looking at my titties.
I'm not. Because you're being too
Get your
big for me
pennies
to
and
look
go
at.
get your cart with your mental illness. You have a mental illness. Get out.
Look at that fool.
Right there.
That transgender is
No penis.
I
I know. You have gender dysphoria. It's a mental
You haven't
illness.
seen me when I don't know hormones. That's all I told what you do. I'm just off my chair right now.
I know. You're a
Dude, what?
You missed the best part. You're a hot ass bitch.
You're a hot ass bitch.
He was like, I pull more than you. It's a mental
You haven't
illness.
seen me when I don't know hormones. That's all I told what you do. I'm just off my chair right now.
I know. You're a hot ass bitch.
Whatever.
Yeah.
This is you right here.
Yeah. Go put a tampon in your butt.
See anything. I do
Bars.
my business and I leave, okay? I'm not.
Put a tampon in your butt. Because that's the
Sorry.
only
That was
place
not
it
nice.
could go. That's the only place it could go, by the way, is in your butt. There was a lot in that clip. Number one, he doesn't look like he goes to the gym. When you go to the gym, you have a bag, you have a drink, you have gym clothing on. He was just like, his shit was just in his arms. He said that I take meds, but I'm just off my shit right now. That just feels like that's not a prescription you would let run out.
Yeah.
Especially if you had bottom surgery. So that shit's just like closing by the hour because you're not on your meds. That was just a crazy ass dude who knew he could, so he did. Like, does that guy look like he has the means to afford bottom surgery? And then if he did, you obviously don't have the means to maintain it because you're off your shit. These aren't Flintstone vitamins. This isn't ginkgo fucking pills. We're talking pills to keep your vagina open. And even maybe there's some mental shit going on there too with the medication he was supposed to take. But that is some wild shit that I'm just off my shit right now. Like, what are you tripping for?
My mom in the comments, go put a tampon in your butt. I taught you well, honey.
That's my girl.
Yeah, and that's why I said, like, let me guess you have a shopping cart outside, because this guy is clearly like off his rocker. He's probably homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he dropped his pennies. He picked every one of them pennies up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, so, okay, typically if you're dealing with somebody who's mentally unwell, who probably has, I don't know, schizophrenia, something, he's got something going on, you would want to stay far away. But something in my mind was like, I don't want to use the word harmless, but he's harmless. Like, that's just how I felt. I felt like he was just like, so he even knew what he was doing was wrong, because if you notice, the moment I went in there and started recording, or he didn't see me go in there, because he had his face towards the locker. But as soon as I said, "Why are you in the women's locker room?" Boom, like he had an answer, and it was a long answer. Like, I'm a woman on my driver's license, blah blah blah. I do this, I do that. Like, he either has to say this often, or he knew going in here, okay, I'm not welcome in here. If I get approached, this is what I need to say.
Mhm.
But I don't know, something like just told me that he's not gonna do shit to me. Even and if he tried, he'd beat my ass. I mean, he's skinny, but he's huge.
Yeah, I mean, but every dog has his day. Maybe you could have taken him, but yeah, it's kind of that primal. It's like when two dogs meet each other for the first time and they're sniffing each other. You just know.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, okay, this
I
dude
literally sniffed his butt and I was like, "You're not
Come
a
here.
threat."
Come here. I got questions. Come here. All right, questions answered. But you just know. You can kind of feel it. But yeah, that was still. And again, you didn't put yourself in that situation. The gym that you go to did.
Yeah.
And that's fucked up. And if something were to happen, what are they going to say? Oh, we'll give you some corporate apology. We are so sorry that blah, blah, blah. We're going to pay for this for you and pay for that. Like, it's too little too late. That's bullshit.
No, there's a sign in the bathroom that says no recording allowed. So I would get in trouble for what I did because I'm the one in the wrong, even if I get my ass beat. I asked the other time, the other one that had the fake titties, as soon as I saw him in the locker room, I went to the staff and I said, "Excuse me, are chicks with dicks allowed in the locker room?" And they were like, "What?" Like, just stupid. Like, okay, so I know my audience here. Like, you guys aren't gonna do anything. And one of the guys was a huge muscular dude. You'd think that like he'd want, but they can't. So what they said was yeah, it's allowed. It's a touchy subject, so we're not allowed to say anything. That's what they said. So I was like, okay. And I left it alone. And then I looked at their policy online, and their policy indeed says that like whatever you identify as is the locker room that you're allowed to use. We welcome everybody, something like that. So I knew I had no leg to stand on, like if I were to approach somebody. So or tell on somebody in the locker room, like they're not going to do anything about it. It's Planet Fitness. It's ghetto.
But why don't then make a freak's locker room? Make a jumbled up whatever you think you are.
But that costs money. They don't want to spend money. They just want to be accepting. And
that's disgusting. And how come you never see, where's the footage of the man being uncomfortable because some woman is in the men's locker room? Why is it always men going into the women's locker room?
Right.
I never see it the other way. Same with sports. You'll see men going into women's sports, but I have yet to see the woman who's on the Duke basketball team just fucking through the legs, windmill, fucking Harlem Globetrotters slam dunks. Like, where's that lady? Where are those women who are breaking the barrier into men's sports? It doesn't happen because women are easier targets for men, and these perverts know they can overwhelm a woman more than a man. And your chances of doing that, especially if you look like that, approaching some dude in the gym, you're probably going to get the brakes beat off of your ass. But he goes into the women's locker room, much less resistance there. That's just so disgusting. And fuck Planet Fitness for allowing that to happen. And like many other things, it takes something really bad to happen for them to change a policy. Oh, sorry, we're gonna name this fucking lap pull down machine after your sister who got killed in the locker room by some fucking psycho. But hey,
lap pull down machine.
Dude, you get the lap pull down. That's the best one. But what's your apology gonna do? I tell my neighbors that, when people drive too fast down the street, and I'm like, they're gonna hit one of these fucking kids, and then what? I'm sorry. My bad. That's not gonna do anything to fix that. You gotta stop the shit before it starts. That is absolutely disgusting. I feel like I should send a super chat to you, but Secretary Not Sure says,
do you need my Venmo? You guys need my Venmo or anything?
Yeah, put that shit in the comments. Says Tori is gorgeous, down ass lady. Those pervs want to be kicked out so they can sue. I see too many of them in San Diego. Oh, so he's down in your neck of the woods. SoCal. Oh,
and that's another thing. Sorry. What were you gonna say?
We were watching Cops the other night, and they were in Rialto. And I remember that somebody telling me Rialto was really fucked up. I don't know how far that is from you, but
I don't either.
Southern California, it's all the same from up here. But go ahead.
Really, Tori here once? What does that mean? What was I gonna say? Oh, so after that happened, I went back in the gym and I was like looking around, like, I wonder who would have my back, like of the men in here if something were to go down. I couldn't find one. Like, obviously, you can't judge somebody based on what they
Mhm.
look like because you just never know. You never know. But none of them looked about it. None of them. Like, who would have my back in here? They'd probably all like beat my ass for him.
Yeah, they're helping him
Like,
jump
that's
you.
what I thought. And then a friend of mine too said, his license probably says female on it. It's easier to get that on your license than it is to change the color of your car with the DMV.
Yeah, probably.
Isn't that
It
crazy?
probably is. They'd probably be yelling just like a bunch of other chicks, "Stop! No, stop! Leave her alone! Stop! Fucking do
Yes.
something, you bitch!" Oh my goodness. Well, Tori, I hope that you don't ever have any more footage like that. But let's be honest, you probably
I'm going
will.
today, so let's cross your fingers.
Probably gonna
I
get
hope he's there.
some new shits. Well, if so, please send me the video because that would be so crazy to see that again. But like I said before, 15 years ago or more, this was laughable. This just wouldn't have happened. There is no footage of that because it just would not have happened. But so quickly, well, maybe not quickly. I think this happened. This started happening in the 90s. We're just seeing the results of it. But that is some wild shit.
Yeah.
That is some very wild shit. And I hope that it is nothing more than, just some banter with that homeless freak dude who got bottom surgery. Yeah. Okay.
He's
Just
hot.
blew all your money on the bottom surgery and you have no money for nothing else. You put it
Yeah,
on,
but
you push all your
I'm sure Medi-Cal covers all that stuff because you know how much money they get. So
so we
he
cover
probably
all
got it
that
for
stuff
free.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we paid for that shit. We
Yeah.
paid for them to origami that dude's penis into some kind of makeshift.
Have you seen those pictures?
Ew, no.
Look it
Hell
up on
no.
Reddit.
Uh-uh.
Do it.
I do not want to see
It's a sight.
that hole. That ugh. Just fuck ugh. Like how can somebody get a surgery like that and you say no, they're totally fine. They are totally fine. There's nothing wrong with them. A woman, I thought double mastectomies were reserved for women who unfortunately had breast cancer. Not to say, no, I don't want them anymore. I feel I'm this, and I'm gonna find a doctor who is going to remove my perfectly healthy breast.
No, the bottom ones are a sight to see though on Reddit.
I imagine they look like if you ever put a hot dog in the microwave for too long, because it just kind of has that like outward, explosion looking thing.
Oh no, they all look infected. Like,
Because they
like
probably are.
what do you think is gonna happen? You're trying to carve a hole into like you're turning something inside out.
And your body's like, this isn't supposed to be happening.
Yeah.
Ew. That's gross. So it's like it looks like a pair of socks. Like when you fold your socks
Yeah.
into each other.
Yeah, but
Ew, that looks
like
with,
infected, like
with
white
meat.
and like
So
white meat.
a pair of socks that looks like you dipped them in mayonnaise or something. That is so disgusting.
Yes, with like
And on
blood
purpose.
and yeah.
On purpose.
And the other route, which I've seen on Reddit too, and it's so crazy because these people in the comments they're like, "Oh my god, you're giving me hope. Like your thing looks so good. Like I'm going to go for my surgery next week." Um but the other way is like, woman to man, they take like a huge piece of like your skin off of your leg and then they create a penis that will never work and it's just there. But it's quite the sight. Come on, I'll send you
So
pictures. No, I'll
no,
get my account banned
don't do
again.
that. Don't do that. So if you're taking a dude and making his penis into a vagina, it's I don't know what they do with it. But so you're in a man who's going to a woman, you're making a hole, and a woman
Mhm.
who's going to a man, I imagine you're covering one up.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, sewing it up or something, and then they create a faux penis, and like some of them that I've seen, like it's funny because the black girls will do like big ones, and then I don't know if it's the doctor's decision or what, like, and then I've seen a couple like a couple where they'll actually create like a somewhat realistic looking, like, I mean, penis, like a large, like, actual penis, and then some of them, I don't know if it just differs on the client or the doctor, but some of them will just continue taking the pills that make them, have testosterone or whatever, and then like they're they close the hole, and then their whatever is left, um, kind of like morphs into like a micro penis naturally with this medication that they take.
But nobody wants a micro penis, whether it be the person
Well,
who owns it or the one who's going to have it used on them. Nobody wants.
but that's not usable. Like, what are you gonna do with it? Like,
Yeah, what are you doing? You just got this nub hanging off of you. Like, does it have feeling? It's fucking weird, man. Ugh. Why did this have to bubble to the surface of mainstream? It belongs like down in this private, secluded place that you have to look for. This shouldn't be mainstream conversation. It should be some
well,
esoteric, in the back
yeah.
alley, gross shit. Like, oh my goodness.
That's why I
Ugh.
wanted, when when the guy in the locker room, he was like, I was like, "You have a hairy asshole, get out of here." And he was like, "Why can you?" Or, oh no, he said that I claimed that he had a penis, and he was like, "No, I don't." And I was like, "Let me see." I wanted to see. You're in the
Let me
women's
see.
locker room. You're in. I mean, naked women are in here, so get naked.
Yeah, let me see your credentials.
Everybody else should be comfortable getting naked with you in here, so get naked. Let me see your credentials. I see nothing wrong with that. Let me see what you're working with now.
That is so gross. Like a doctor would be like, "So, what do you want me to do with your perfectly functioning genitals? You want to destroy them and mutate them? Okay, no problem. Like, do you have to go to another country to have that done? Like, that just sounds like some shit that American doctors would not do because it's so crazy. But somebody's doing it.
Asinine, but
Somebody's
it's
doing it.
money. It's
Somebody,
money.
remember who's that? Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. Hi, everybody. Like, I guess you can
Oh.
find some, bootleg back alley doctor that, fucking work for, Chick-fil-A gift cards, and he'll carve that bitch up for you.
Carve it out.
He'll
Carve it out.
mangle that. He'll mangle that shit for you. You won't even recognize it when he's done. That is so nasty. All right, well, thank you for that, Tori. I appreciate
You're welcome.
that trip down the rabbit
Someone said,
hole
"What did I just click into?"
Dude, it was wild. It was fucking wild.
You have
Go
to
back and
rewind.
watch it.
Okay, there was a reason for this.
Yeah, there's a backstory to all of this. And I feel like we're not done. I feel like this story is alive and well and living and changing. And this won't be the last time that we have you back. So when you do get more footage, unfortunately, let me know, Tori. You always have a place here to show the strange things that happen at your gym.
Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness.
Ghetto Fitness. It's my fault though. I need to get a new gym membership. Everybody's been telling me what's wrong with you, but it's very close to my house and I don't like to drive.
Well, you should be punished for convenience. You shouldn't have to, be in there with some chick with a ding dong because you have the misfortune of living close to a gym. That is gross.
I know.
All right. Well, thank you, Tori D. I think the comment section enjoyed your presence. I don't see Thomas Bailey in there, but I'm sure he'll get your scent and he'll be here soon enough. He will get your scent. He will get your scent and be here soon. Thank you, Tori. I appreciate it.
My mom's fighting for me in the comments. You're welcome.
Like a good mom. Yeah. Right on. And hopefully, you'll get paroled out of your current situation. The cell that you're living in. I hope.
I know. I can't change my background. I need to find a nicer cell.
Yeah, you need to upgrade.
Wait, it's letting me.
Oh, there you go.
I prefer the cell though. It's fine.
It's a nice living room. All right, cool. Thank you, Tori. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Peace. That was Tori D, people. Never a dull moment with Tori. Yeah, I'm sure she will unfortunately get more footage of a Ku Klux trans member in the changing room at the gym. That is sick. That is crazy. That is dangerous. That's right, none the miser. Free Tori. Put some money on her books. Rex Rocker, I'm not getting out of here quite yet. Still got about 30 more minutes until I have to go pick up Junior and come home, have some dinner, and then take him to his Christmas program. That is going to be some shit. So something that I saw was apparently at some apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. They found some people tied up. One dude was stabbed. It wasn't life-threatening. So maybe it would have been like, maybe it was like a torture thing. But let's see, Aurora, Colorado. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah, here it is. Okay, that's done. As of 1 hour ago, 14 gang members arrested after Aurora, Colorado home invasion. Police in Aurora, Colorado said Tuesday they apprehended 14 suspected gang members overnight following reports of a home invasion at a local apartment complex. Aurora Police Department Chief Todd Chamberlain told reporters that officers responded to the edge at Lowry Apartments after 2 residents were accosted by several individuals. That complex is notably the same site which some claimed in September was taken over by armed Venezuelan gangs. Some claimed, don't believe the footage you saw of them kicking in people's doors and walking in with machetes and AR-15s. You didn't really see that. It's just some people say that. Some fringe extremists say that, but it's not true. It's not true. What you see in your eye with your eyeballs is not true, people. Yeah. Just before 2:30 a.m., officers responded to a report of an armed home invasion involving stabbing and kidnapping at an apartment in the 1200 block of Dallas Street. What that one lady say? It's just a few places. It's not a lot. It's just a few apartment buildings. According to the police, the preliminary investigation suggests several suspects entered an apartment occupied by 2 people. Investigators say the suspects moved the victims to another apartment on the property where they were threatened and bound. An adult male sustained a non-life-threatening stab wound during the incident. After some time, the victims were released. They called 911. Multiple Aurora police officers arrived at the apartment complex and detained 14 suspects. The Aurora Police Department has not clarified whether the suspects are tied to a gang from Venezuela. This is the same apartment complex of the center of a viral video that showed the suspects terrorizing residents with weapons in September. That video prompted President-elect Donald Trump to make comments about Aurora several times on the campaign trail leading up to the election. Trump falsely claimed the city has been taken over by a criminal gang from Venezuela. Well, maybe not the whole city. But judging by what I'm looking at, it's a real possibility. It's certainly on its way. What does that look like? That dude has a AR-15 style weapon, got a handgun there, got a handgun down here. Who knows what this fool has here? And these are Venezuelan gangs from Venezuela. So what do you mean some people claim like the shit's not true? Yes, it's true. Isn't that crazy? You have foreign gangs on American soil terrorizing Americans. Now, it's bad enough when American gangs do that. I mean, they should all be lined up, blindfolded, with a cigarette stuck in their mouth with one last wish. But it's a little bit worse when it's people from outside of your country who didn't just break in here, but who were welcome, who were called. The only thing we didn't do was send a fleet of Ubers to pick them up and bring them here. That's the only thing we didn't do. That we didn't go and pick them up and bring them here. We certainly called them here. We certainly welcomed them here. We were certainly stupid enough to allow these hordes of invaders across our border. And I hope instances, one of those words, like this, will bring about the end of people believing in this. They just want a better life. They're just coming from a poor country. They're just fleeing political and economic persecution. They just want a better life. We have so much. We owe them. No. I would put my money on the fact that most of the people coming across the border have ill intent for us, who are merely coming up here to continue their criminalistic ways. And if you come across some soft-ass city like Aurora, or a soft state like Colorado or California, or any of the left coast states, you're going to find easy victims because you have cities where they're not going to be punished. You have cities like New York where the dudes can stomp on a cop's head and they're released the next day and the dude's flipping off the camera like he's fucking Tupac. Like he's coming out of the New York courtroom spitting at the camera with a damn New Jersey Red Wings jersey on. Well, of course this shit is going to continue. Where you have states where they do everything they can to keep tax-paying citizens from carrying guns and protecting themselves. Of course this shit's going to happen. If you let the fox in the hen house, you think he's going to sit in a circle and want the hens to tell him about his feelings? Ooh, I'm hungry, girls. Let's get some of this chicken feed. Or is that fox going to start eating the hens and ripping them apart? What do you think, dummy? You got the mayor of Denver accepting with a straight face a list of demands? What? Illegals, meaning your ass isn't supposed to be here. And you're making not a list of requests, not can we have, hey, do you think it might be all right if you have the resources, maybe if it's okay? No. Demands. Gimme. You have them making demands to the mayor of a city, inside of a state, inside of a country that they're not supposed to be in. So, of course, these gangs are going to come up here. Do you know how savage they are? Do you know how savage they are? Do you see any of these gangs popping up in rural areas in southern states where everybody has a gun? Are they doing this in apartment buildings in Florida or in Texas or in Georgia or Arizona or Nevada, anywhere where you're allowed to put a gun on your hip? Do you see this shit happening? Or is it in soft ass Colorado, which is basically a satellite office for California? Terrible. But hey, it's just a couple apartment buildings. It's not a big problem yet. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw or we see username says Crips are running scared from these gangs. The American gangs are savage, yes, but these foreign gangs from these war-torn shithole countries where they're just generations steeped in war, they're going to be a little more hardcore. They're going to be a little more savage. So yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. You saw that in Chicago too. These gangs coming in, taking over the turf of these American gangs because they run scared. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see images that look like they're from one of these said third world countries, where the police are coming in and these groups, these renegades are embedded in like they have a stronghold and they're behind cars, they're in buildings, they're on the roofs, and they're shooting it out with the police. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing this from places like Aurora, Colorado, where they take over everything, where it's like the fucking Carter from New Jack City, and now the police have to come in, maybe even the National Guard have to come in and root these people out. Now they have to go in. Now it's going to get violent. On the streets of America. It's very Red Dawn, very Invasion USA. In America, here. Tough. That's not supposed to happen here. That's for the countries where they send the t-shirts of the teams that didn't win the championship, right? WTF. Speaking of WTF, the government has released another statement, people, and you better believe it. Why should you believe it? Because it came from the lips of your government. That's why. You foolish taxpayer. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid, asshole. Let's see. Boom. What do we got here? Show you what we got. We got the government putting your minds and your hearts at ease. Now take this as gospel. Okay, it came from your federal government. Therefore, it is 100% what? The truth. Now listen to all these acronyms. Trust every single one of them with your life and the life of your loved ones. DHS, FBI, FFA, and DOD, joint statement on ongoing response to reported drone sightings. This is the end all be all. I don't want to hear anymore after I read you this statement. All right, this came from the government. It answers all your questions. Calm down. You should have no more questions after I read this statement. They have our best interests at heart. They always have, and they always will. So after I read this to you, if you have friends or family members or coworkers and they say, hey, what about these drones? I want you to regurgitate what I'm about to tell you and calm their nerves. Okay? Chill. There are more than 1 million drones lawfully registered with the FAA in the United States, and there are thousands of commercial hobbyists and law enforcement drones lawfully in the sky on any given day. With the technology landscape evolving, we expect that number to increase over time. Side note, let's pause for a second. There was a report today that a drone caused flights to be delayed at a New York airport. But I read on. FBI has received tips of more than 5,000 reported drone sightings in the last few weeks, with approximately 100 leads generated. And the federal government is supporting state and local officials in investigating these reports. Consistent with each of our unique missions and authorities, we are quickly working to prioritize and follow these leads. We have sent advanced detection technology to the region, and we have sent trained visual observers. Having closely examined the technical data and tips from concerned citizens, we assess that the sightings to date include a combination of, pay attention, lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, law enforcement drones, as well as manned fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, and stars mistakenly reported as drones. So you just made a mistake, John Q. Public. You fucked up. We have not identified anything anomalous and do not assess the activity to date to present a national security or public safety risk over the civilian airspace in New Jersey or other states in the Northeast. That said, we recognize the concern among many communities. We continue to support state and local authorities with advanced detection technology and support of law enforcement. We urge Congress to enact counter UAS legislation when it reconvenes that would extend and expand existing counter drone authorities to identify and mitigate any threat that may emerge. Additionally, there have been a limited number of visual sightings of drones over military facilities in New Jersey and elsewhere, including within restricted airspace. Such sightings near or over DoD installations are not new. DoD takes unauthorized access over its airspace seriously and coordinates closely with federal, state, and local law enforcement authorities as appropriate. Local commanders are actively engaged to ensure There are appropriate detection and mitigation measures in place. There. All right. All this drone shit is over. Turns out it's you, it's your neighbor, it's the local cops that have all these drones up in the air. All right. So stop with all the conspiracies. It's not Iran. It's not aliens. It's not your own federal government. No. It's just nerds. Shit, our drone ship in the sky is so clear tonight. Super awesome. So those guys, law enforcement who are over the trap houses, and just enthusiasts. That's all. Never mind that this has never fucking happened. You've never seen the sky full of drones over any city like that. It's been going on for a month. How about you say, hey, stop flying all these damn drones until we figure out who's who, until we can get the bottom of this mother shit theory that's out on this Iranian ship that's out on the coast, off the East Coast, that's releasing these drones. Until we get some answers, keep your drones out of the sky. If we see after this date, we're going to give you time to wrap it up. But if we catch your drones in the sky after this date, this is going to happen. All right? That's that. You figure out what's what, and you report to the American people. Put their hearts and minds at ease. Done. But they've done none of that. They're still all up in the sky, and we still don't know who's who. Well, if you listen to the government, we know who's who, but who's going to listen to them? Not me. But is this going to be government report number 3 that's bullshit? Got the sweet sour sniffles report. No shit, we already knew that. The January or July 6th report. No shit, we already knew that. And then the drone report. Nothing for you guys to worry about. It's just your neighbor fucking around. That's all. Close your blinds. It's just your neighbor trying to get a peep of them titties. That's all it is. It's you. It's you, John Q. Public. It's you, not us. Man, please. I don't believe that shit. And I don't believe that they're trying to detect radiation because there's some nuclear waste that went missing. From where? Where the hell did nuclear waste go missing from? Who the hell did that? Was it another country? If so, how the hell did it get over here? Man, this is some crazy shit. Speaking of crazy shit, why don't we wrap it up with some dumb shit? Well, not some dumb shit, but a dumbass. How about that? How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Oh, man. Let's see. Find Mr. Oliver Mack. I'm going to have Oliver on my show. Cool dude. Got some shit to talk about. That shit's been going down. Let's see. So you might remember this colossal dipshit, this colossal moron, this mouth-breathing dumb. So remember, on the trail, on the campaign trail, Kamala, the Ugandan nightmare, she pulled out all the stops. She brought out all the Hollywood perverts and weirdos and gangster rappers who push poison on our youth, the minds of our youth. And one of these assholes was Fat Joe, who I can't stand for other reasons, but he uses the N-word, and I just think that's fucking weird for someone who's not black to say it. Now, I also don't believe black people should say it either. I wish nobody would say that word, but it is a word. You're free to say it, but it just sounds extra weird and fucking dumb when it comes from somebody who's not black. Anyway, I can't explain that. It's just how I feel about it. So Fat Joe is one of them. And then you won't believe what this stupid, dumb asshole is saying about working with Trump. Apparently there's some work that he does, like community outreach type shit. And he's been working on it for a long time, but he refuses to work with Trump. Like, what a dumbass. But I'm not as dumb as him, so I can't explain it as well. But I'll let Fat Joe's borderline retarded ass tell you all about it.
That like really feels like your family in Puerto Rico.
Shout out to Mayor. I stand by the mayor. Yeah.
Your family in Puerto Rico, that's like, this is my island, right? And
not even in Puerto Rico,
or
here.
Here, wherever.
Your friend, if you went to vacation tomorrow to Puerto Rico,
like that.
Your best friend would be like, my island.
And they tell you
all right,
where to
well,
go.
your island is garbage according to these guys that you just voted for.
My question to you is though, right? Like not even just with like people that are Puerto Rican, but just people in general that are from where you from, went through what you went through. You said you are like you're a hip hop politician. You're for the people. You were working on lowering the marijuana penalties with Kamala's team. You wouldn't go across the aisle and work with Trump on that because your people need that?
I personally think I will never work with Donald Trump. Just me. I don't care what the glory is, what the thing is. I don't care. You know, I've been fighting for healthcare price transparency, going to Washington for years, this, that. If he passed the law, I don't even think I could stand behind him and just be like, okay, he passed the law. I've been fighting for it for 10 years. Just my personal opinion. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Question to you though, because as...
Oh, what a dumbass. So wait a minute. You're working on some kind of reform for, sentencing or whatever it is that he's the punishment for selling weed, whatever it is, it's benefiting people in your community. It's giving them shorter sentences in prison. It's something major. And you're not going to work on it because Donald Trump signs the bill into law. You wouldn't stand behind him as he signed the bill for what? Why? What has he done to you? What has Trump done for you to stop helping a community because he has something to do with it? What has he done? He mentioned calling Puerto Rico garbage. He didn't say the people of Puerto Rico, but that's what happens. That's what happens when you allow your emotions to take over and lead you through life and make you do things. That's what happens when you listen to your emotions like a child. The people, he said Puerto Ricans are garbage. That's not what he said, you dumbass. He said Puerto Rico, the island of Puerto Rico, has a garbage problem. And he said there's a big floating island of garbage out in the ocean. It's called Puerto Rico. He didn't say the people. He's talking about your fucking sanitation problems in Puerto Rico. The fact that you don't have a way to get rid of the garbage on the island of Puerto Rico, you dipshit. But you're going to sit there and be an over-emotional female about it. Oh, I'm not going to work with him, even if I don't care what it is. I'm not going to be there because it's Trump. Huh. So what message does that send to the people who are benefiting from your help? They're not important enough. They're not important enough for you to take your tampon out and be a fucking man and continue to do what you're doing. They're not important enough for you to be a man and not worry about who's giving you the thing you're fighting for. Just receive it. It doesn't matter who's giving it to you. He's the type of fool that if Donald Trump was a heart surgeon and he was the only one in the world that could save Fat Joe's stupid spray-on beard dumbass, he would refuse the surgery and die and shatter his children's world just because Trump was going to do it. But there it is. That's Hollywood. That's academia. That's the far left politicians. That's the left, period, distilled down to one glass of stupid ass called Fat Joe. There it is right there. If somebody said, man, you got one video to show me that boils down the left, show them that one. Because this dumb son of a bitch just said he doesn't matter what the cause is. If Trump is going to be the one to help that cause, I can't be a part of it. Fat Joe, you are a dumb ass. And everybody who thinks that. But despite the fact that you can look at Trump's presidency and see exactly what he's going to do, despite the fact that he's done nothing to make Fat Joe feel this way, that's what he's going to do because that's what his handlers told him. The same people who told him to support Kamala Harris, the same ones who have videotapes of stuff, of people probably putting stuff in his ass at a Diddy party. That's what they told him to say. That's what they told him to tell people. That's how they told him to feel. And that's what he's going to do. That's exactly what he's going to do. That's the dumbest shit in the world. And even that dumbass there, who's a host on that dumbass Breakfast Club, knew that he was too much of a dumbass. I don't care what it is. If Trump's involved, I ain't going to be there. You're so stupid. You can't even grow a beard. You got to have somebody mask off your face like you're a fucking front end of a car and spray that ridiculous looking shit onto your face. He's like one of those men who's 80 years old, but his hair is jet black. Stop. You are fooling absolutely no one. People, you know what time it is. I got to get going. I got to go pick up Junior from school because he has his Christmas program tonight. And I can't wait. I'll be a proud dad. Oh, who's cutting onions in here? Oh. Watching my son get up there and sing all the Christmas songs that we sang when we were kids. They've even sing the Hawaii one, Mili Kaliki Maka or whatever. They sing that one too. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Silent Night, all the hits. I can't wait. And they're what the? That was weird. They're also at an age where like you can actually the show is watchable. You know, when they're little, like kindergarten, first grade, they're not on rhythm, and they sound this part singing this part and all. It's terrible. But he's of an age where it's actually doable. You can actually get through it. So I will be doing that. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your comments, your questions, your cash monies. Thank you for being here with my special guest, Tori D. Fine, Shinobi. I will do the stuffy British accent for the conclusion of this live stream. Make sure you give me a follow on the at green_Jericho. Make sure you like and subscribe to this very channel right here. You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. I'm out.